Well, I did intend to get a video out in the next few days, and I do intend to make good on that promise. So today, this is my recording of Armada of Annihilation Final Lament, which is basically, it's described as a VR trading mission, which basically means we're just going to shove a bunch of random stuff in here, and because it's virtual reality, that means it makes sense, so shut up. That's basically what they ended up doing. I think it's a decently enjoyable mission. It's sort of split up into, I think, 3 major sections. There's the battleship section, then there's a battleship interior section, and there's the final boss fight with the trio, I guess you could say. I ended up doing this one with a group of my Alliance members, which meant that I could sort of, was going to have to suffer through people who just don't know what they're doing, which that is a bit of a major problem in this quest, as I will point out. People just don't seem to know what they're doing. I believe this is, I forget which ones, I think we did end up running this quest, I think, 2 or 3 times, and I think this is the first one where I actually got the title Fierce Armada Training Dominator. So, that's cool. And yeah, you can see them all my guildmates. I keep calling them guildmates even though this game uses alliances, but whatever. Alright, getting right into it. So, after this, I believe I only have 2 more PSO2 videos until we get to the NGS content, and I did actually record 2 NGS videos yesterday, I believe, maybe over the last couple days, so those should be coming out probably not this week, maybe next week if I get to them, I don't know. Anyway, here we go. So this first section is basically just going to be kill a bunch of stuff. So once you blow up all these guys, they start sending these battleships after you. And there's 4 in total. And the idea is you blow up all their guns, for the most amount of points anyway. That was a frame drop. And you use the cannons to blow up all their guns, and they spawn some enemies here, so not everyone's going to be doing battleship stuff. You can see I'm doing the little dudes. And so you can try and destroy all the cannons on the battleship, then you just target the bridge to destroy the battleship itself. Fairly simple, and each sort of iteration gets harder, because we're going to give you like 12 cannons, so you can just this guy pretty much just melts pretty easily. The next one, they give you less cannons, and the last one, they only give you, I believe, 3 cannons to do it, which it's actually pretty easy, assuming you just hit your shots well enough, so, it's not so bad. Unfortunately, this is the part where people tend to seem to mess up a bunch, so they either don't understand that so the bridge is the only part of the battleship that actually takes damage, so destroying it, you have to hit the bridge. For some reason, people seem to not understand this. The other big thing I've noticed people doing is not fully charging their cannon shots. I'm not sure how this wasn't drilled in people when the Gelbolf interception things came out, but only fully charged shots do anything to these guys, so you can technically rapid fire spam these cannons, but it's not going to do anything. Which, again, for some reason people don't understand. Even in Ultra Hard, which, for the record, this is on Ultra Hard. So, for now, pretty much we just blow up all these battleships. This is the second easiest one. You guys run it pretty easily. I have seen people mess up the last 2. The last 2 are the ones that usually one of them will go down, and the other one maybe if you have a good group. Again, with pub, you're sort of rolling the dice as to what kind of people you get. This one was actually one of the better ones. Like, I'm not sure who we ended up getting paired with, but he was a pretty decent group going, so we ended up doing this relatively quickly and relatively cleanly. As you can see, this video is much shorter than the previous one, which is fine because I've been trying to not have many huge dead gaps where I'm sort of thinking about what I want to say. And so, because we're moving much more quickly, I'm going to not have massive gaps, or at least try to. I've been trying to keep the space down. So this is the final one. They spawn 2 battleships on either side. They're the same exact battleship design. You blow them up. They might even be the exact. They might be the exact same model of battleship, or at least the cannon placement might be the same as they use in the. What is it called? Armada of Annihilation Interception mission, the one where you fight Nemesis Angelos at the end. I'd have to check, and I'm not that interested in checking. I'm probably. Again, the likelihood that I really go back and grind PSO2 base again is, say, fairly unlikely unless they, I don't know, for some sort of special event or whatever. And even then, like, take your chances. I'm sort of focused on NGS and other things right now. And Earthy Goldradas, yeah, they do spawn a bunch of dudes. Now, I think we got both battleships. Now we're just gonna kill these dudes. The Goldradas are really annoying because sometimes they'll grab you when you're in the turret and you can't really do anything about it because you have to try and kill the battleship. So they're very annoying. I do not like them. Also very annoying in that mining base defense quest. Okay, this is one of the two, I guess, sort of... I'm not sure to call them. They're sort of like mini quests where basically they spawn a bunch of enemies and then they say, okay, kill them all before the time runs out. This is the first one. The other one comes at the end of the second section, which basically these sort of emergency type things sort of, I guess, mark the end of each sort of section, I guess. Which is, I guess, kind of interesting. And so basically the goal is just kill everything, basically. Like, not really much to say here. I'm just gonna try and kill everything. The really hard ones to kill are the big dudes. I forget what they're called. There's also some other ones like these. The saber guys, I really hate them. They're very annoying. They look cool. They look very cool, but they're really annoying. So, you know, basically we're just trying to burst all these guys down, kill them off, and we actually finished this relatively quickly. Like 25 seconds to go is actually very fast. Like most times you'll finish with under 10 seconds left on the clock, assuming you get a halfway decent group that can actually do it, because sometimes your group sucks and they can't even do the quest at all. So that's how it's fun. You notice there we have a guy who's using a gravity magic, I guess, for the gravity ability. Those abilities are so unbelievably useful, and I don't know why more people don't run them. Like, the pull all the enemies together moves are just, they're invaluable when doing Cradle of Darkness, which I thought about taking a video of Cradle of Darkness, but it's really boring and really repetitive. I wouldn't have much to say other than trying to get all the trying to level every single class to 100% on this level, on this mission, completely melted my brain. Like, I am never going to do Cradle of Darkness ever again. It destroyed my sanity when I had to do it for leveling. It is very repetitive and also kind of RNG, so, and even when you get good RNG, it's still repetitive. Like, you're pretty much just killing like the same 10 monsters over and over again, and like after like a couple dozen times it becomes mind-numbing. I mean, I think you could have probably tracked my sanity going down the more days I had to do Cradle of Darkness. This quest I actually like quite a bit. It's really very, you know, interesting stuff happens and all that. So for this sort of area, there's two paths. There's one path with Supernaturals and one path with Nightfallers and Toy Fall Spawn. Each one has a final boss. The final boss of the other path that I'm not taking at present is Orduna Zordada, and this one is Flame Diamos. There's also the Violin Dragon at the bottom, and then once you kill him, you get access to destroy all of the cannons, which are already destroyed because, again, our group is actually very good. Unlike the other times I've done this quest, in which case my group has been bad, and it has pained me greatly. So yeah, you can see Flame Diamos, and you can see them already doing Orduna Zordada, who's the hard mode version of, or the harder version of Kodota Edita, I believe that's his name. But anyway, so I believe you already saw this guy in the Apprentice video, or one of the Omega Apprentice video I did. So he goes down, and then we have another split path. So over there, that second path on the right, I just pointed in real life, even though you can't see me. Nice going, buddy. There's basically just a bunch of... I'm not going to do the path this time, because I did it for a while. I was the one doing it. I even had one group that was so bad that literally no one went over there, which... that was a fun time. Basically, there's a bunch of little target things you destroy, and there's some guys you fight, and then you turn off a bunch of like little devices inside these spinning laser rings. I think I might get a view of it at the end, but you'll see. And there's going to be bosses here in a second that are randomized. You either get La Fada Ringada and I believe Guana Guanda, or you could potentially, or instead of La Fada, you can get, I believe, Zest Raider. No, or one of the Zest Raider variants. There's like a hard mode variant that you can get. That might be Gorth Raider. Who cares? They're basically the same monster. Just one is hard. So, we're just gonna try and kill these guys. It's what it is, Meanwhile, the other people are gonna be doing the... Yeah, you can see all unlock, which is activated, so... There's some, Photon or enemies that are shooting dudes over there, and so because their group is actually good, they've already gone ahead and done that whole section, so that means we can now just collapse on these guys and kill them. And after that, we get to do the second, whatchamacallit quest. Second sort of, like, quick kill the enemies quest. And this is where we fight Grave Exegol and the other guy who's... I don't know what his name is. It starts with a V. He's one of the big photon or robot enemies. It looks pretty cool. I mean, I think he's designed pretty well, but I just can't remember his name to save my life. I do remember Grave Exegol, though, because I fought him quite a few times when I was doing Divide Quest to try and get the titles for that. There's also some turrets in here, so... Oh, yeah. Veldfodrus. I think that was what it's called. Anyway, whatever. So, unfortunately, because I'm doing the turrets, you can't actually see Grave Exegol, who looks... Grave Exegol is actually... He actually looks very good, despite this game's engine being, like, 10 years old. So, you'll might be able to catch him out of the corner of your eye there, because, again, I'm not looking at him at present, trying to draw those cannons, because you get more points for doing the cannons. But yeah, you can see him doing his crazy little laser attacks. They actually did do a very good job, like, making him look really cool. And again, if your group is bad, this is a quest people can actually fail pretty hard, and it is embarrassing when it happens. But yeah, you just kind of kill these guys. I'm kind of sad I didn't actually go after Grave Exegol, because I really wanted to show off some of his attacks and his design, so... Unfortunate, but what can you do? And then this is sort of the pause area before we go into fighting Shiva, Mitra, and Varuna. And so what they're going to do here is you can look on the minimap, there's 3 platforms. Top one is Shiva, left one is Varuna, right one's Mitra. They split us up into 3 groups of 4, just completely randomized, and then each get shoved onto one of those platforms. And what do I get shoved onto? I can't remember. Okay, I'm fighting Mitra, which is fine. She's a bit annoying. I think my favorite one to fight is probably Varuna. But, she has this weirdly long animation that, I don't know. Oh yeah, you'll notice it says Shiva up there, so if you play Phantasy Star Online 2-story mode, you'll know why that is. But if you don't know, Mitra has the ability to take the form of other people. Kind of. It's not perfect, she can be found out, which happened in the story a couple times. But there's a point in the story at which she basically tricks you by becoming Shiva, or at least imitating Shiva. And, that's sort of what they're doing here. And the Photon enemies definitely look like some of the coolest enemies in the game. So I really like how they look. And as you can see, you can go over to the Varuna Peak group to help them, but usually what happens is most people just go over to Shiva and start killing her. Shiva, Ultra Hard is actually... So she does a lot of damage, she has a couple different one-shot moves, which is annoying. This is one of them, I believe. Yeah, this is one of them. She throws a bunch of... I have no idea how the hell that happened. I think it was my Photon Blast that did that. Because when she's in that mode, you can't attack her, otherwise she'll throw a bunch of swords into you and then just do like a massive sword swipe that one-shots everyone, which is... She has done another one-shot move that I don't know if she'll do, she doesn't get a chance to do it, because, again, our group is actually good, so we can burst her down pretty quickly, or kill her pretty quickly. And it should be happening in about a minute or so. Yeah, so she does a lot. She has some similar attacks to, I think, both Mitra and Varuna. I think she shares a couple attacks with each of them, but she's also got a bunch of her own. Because she has, I believe, 3 weapons. She has a scythe, which is actually a rod, technically, and then a pair of blades, and then dual machine guns. Excuse me. And pretty much we're just trying to kill her. And this time I think I actually avoid the... Yeah, this time I actually avoid the swords. Which always feels nice, avoiding those things. And then I think we can kill her fairly soon. Otherwise I wouldn't have stopped recording. So... yeah, it's a pretty fun quest overall. It's got a bunch of variety and fairly quick. Oh yeah, it's another one of her one-shot moves where she throws a bunch of swords down and they stab into you, and then she does a massive swipe that kills pretty much everyone in there. She also spawns a bunch of those little laser things that just fire at you. Those are really annoying. It's like, that's one of the main aspects of why I don't really like her fight, because they do a lot of damage and they're very fast, so you can't really, you don't really get a chance to like heal. You pretty much just have to constantly be dodging them. Yeah, there she goes. Yeah, that'll about do it for this one. A lot quicker than the other one, but I don't think you would mind. So yeah, I guess thanks for watching. I should be out... next video should be Battleship Yamato. Should be a fun time. But yeah, I will see you then. Farewell.